Good morning. I just wanted to say thanks for coming in, and I'm glad we have this time to meet about Alex. And I cannot believe that he is a senior this year, and we're talking about his last year of high school and moving on into his adult life. So I just know that Alex is going to have a great year because he's so dedicated at his office supply job, and they love having him there. So our plan is, and if you're on board with that, to continue with his job at the office supplies store with his job coach. So he will have support throughout this year, but we're going to be pulling that support back as much as possible so that he feels like he's doing that job independently. He's doing so well on his inventory spreadsheets, and they would like to keep him after graduation and even increase his hours up to 20 hours per week. I have a question. Does he still like eating out at the fast food restaurants and renting movies? If so, we should probably think about getting him his own bank account. And if you need help with that, or you would like us to take him to the bank and help set that up, we'll probably just need some information from you. But we can do that for you. And if not, feel free to take him and get him his own account so he can feel independent with his money, and he can learn about personal finance, what he can spend and can't spend. Let's talk about his post-secondary goals, so things that he's going to do after he graduates from this year. So Alex will attend a 2-year college and complete a business math course with a passing grade. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're working on this year, so that next year he can go to the community college and take that math class and hopefully speed up his processes at work. As far as jobs and employment, after graduation, he will continue to work at the office supplies store. He will need to improve his speed on the data entry and the spreadsheets so that he can work a little bit quicker. That's the only difference between him right now and some of the other employees, but his boss is fine with that and he's willing to work with him on that. We also need to work on him engaging a little bit more with his boss. He's a little bit afraid to talk to him right now. So I've set some goals in his IEP to work on his conversational skills. Right now, you have indicated that you're not interested in independent living after high school. But if you change your mind on that, we'd be glad to give you resources so that you can check into it. And maybe that's something you're thinking about, 4 or 5 years down the road. But please feel free to reach out at any time and ask us about that. And I would also like to say there are community groups in town, such as Community Choices and the Buddy Program through the University of Illinois that offers social outlets too. So that's something that we may want to be checking into this year. So with those goals in mind, I've written his IEP goals, something that we're going to be working on this year. And the first are his vocational goals. So as I said, we would like him to go to that community college after school, after graduation. But we want him to take a business math class this year. And in the general education classroom, where he will learn how to use a business calculator. And we would like him to be 90% accurate on that with his assignments in 9 out of 10 trials. And that's for the first quarter. And then we will revisit and see if we need to keep that goal there or if we will increase his ability to do that. The second one is with the aid of a money management software program, we will increase the speed of him being able to complete his assignments by 30 seconds in 50% of his trials. So 5 out of 10 times we'd like him to be able to do his spreadsheet a little bit quicker. And we'll keep track of that he can either keep track on his phone, how long it takes him to do his assignment, or we can use a stopwatch, whatever. But that will again be in his general ed business math class. And we'll revisit that again at the quarter and see how he's doing on that goal. So some skills we can work on to help with this transition in his vocational goals: personal banking skills, like we talked about, word processing and data entry skills, and his ability to talk for himself. So when he's at work, he's not afraid to reach out to his boss if he has a need or a concern. And we'll be working on that with Alex, of course, the general education math teacher, the counselor who will have to set him up for that class, and myself. For his employment goal, so one of the things, like I said, we're going to have to work on is his direct conversation with his boss. So we're going to start out by having him make a personal greeting 4 days out of 5 days when he goes to his job, and the job coach will be monitoring that and keeping data on that for us. And at his place of employment and under the supervision of his job coach, Alex will increase his data entry performance speed by completing one more task per shift. So on Monday, he does four data entry spreadsheets. Then we'll try to increase that on Tuesday and get one more, and Wednesday and get 5, and Thursday and get 5, and then maybe the next week try to get 6, and see how he progresses along this quarter. And we'll revisit that again at the quarter and see if we need to increase or decrease that goal depending on how he's doing and how we can support him in doing that. In order to help him with his communication, I thought it would be really cool if we could find personal communication videos online for him to watch, and then compare that to what business communication looks like, and maybe he could notice the difference in those. We'll have to teach him also how to use the stopwatch on his phone so that he can keep track of his time and his ability to complete tasks. Say, okay, we'll give you 5 minutes for your spreadsheet this week. Let's see if we can get it down the following week. And that will, of course, be involving Alex, his employer, his job coach, myself, and you, because you've indicated an interest in supporting him through his work. So anyway, thanks for coming in. I just wanted to say also that whenever you have questions, whenever you need to talk, please feel free to contact me. I can send home email updates on Fridays. And if you need any resources about housing arrangements, job coaching services, or community groups for after graduation, please feel free to reach out to me. And if anything changes in your goals or what you're thinking you would like for him to do after school, please let me know. Thanks again for coming in, and we'll be in touch.